these cheap investments just keep doubling in price. There is a few different ones at the moment on the market, but for instance, when you take a look over at the Dust 2 2021 collection, a lot of the cheap trade-up items have just been getting mass bought. For instance, when we go ahead and take a look over at the P90 Desert DD Pat, which is just a consumer grade skin in the collection, taking a look at its performance throughout the last month, it is a little bit hard to see its increase until we sort of zoom in, and you will notice that it did go from around 15 cents on the market to where it just kept rising to where it did eventually hit over 30 cents to what now it's obviously just stabled out around 27, 28, as people have just been buying all the trade up skins that you'll be able to use for this collection. I mean, you can see the same thing taking place over with the industrial skins as well. For instance, the 5.7 Withered Vine, this one as well didn't exactly double in price, but went from roughly 80 cents to where it did rise to now getting sold at over $1.30. Now for some other cheap investments which are giving way better returns than the previous ones we just talked about, the Antwerp glitters. We talked about these roughly a month ago and also 2 months ago as well, as they were heavily overlooked across the board. The teams, the glitters, leaving every single glitter to be under $1 and most of them actually getting sold for a singular cent. This is where now though they have just continually been rising in price for the last few months. Even the last month have been giving some insane gains. For instance, the Cloud9 glitter, this went from getting sold around $1.70 to where it just kept rising, and now it's getting sold at almost $3 USD on the market. It did hit that sometime last week, but this is where other glitters have also gave some insane returns. For instance, the Shiro glitter from Antwerp, this one went from getting sold at around 20 cents to where it rose up to over 40 cents and then doubled once again to where now it's getting sold at over 60 cents, over 3 times in price throughout the last month. And this really isn't it. This is happening across the board. Another example is the Heroic glitter. This one appears to have went through a little bit of a hype yesterday or manipulation. I believe it's from TikTok, but I just can't find the exact video. As you will see, this glitter went from selling at around 30 cents last month, eventually spiked up to around 50, sort of stabilized, but in the morning of March 9th, it did eventually spike all the way up and started getting sold at over 79 cents on the market. And then for another player sticker, let's talk about the Rocks glitter. We talked about a few days ago how the Rocks Hollow just keeps increasing in price. Well, same thing to the Rocks glitter. This went from selling at around $1.30 of almost $1.50 around a month ago, spiked up to over $2, hit over $2.50, and now it's getting sold at over $3 on the market. I've been talking about these glitters for the last few months since they were literally just under 1 cent on the market over on Buff, which some other recent examples of some stickers I picked up which have just been going insane. This one I picked up for around 0.29 RMB each, literally just 1 month ago over on February 12th, to where now they're listed at over 0.71 RMB. An example which gave a bigger return, let's talk about the Zai Wu glitter. This one I picked up for 0.66 RMB, to where now it's getting sold at over 2.88 RMB. A huge increase for this autograph. It was extremely underlooked. Another example is a Strawless for 3.89 RMB, to where now it's getting sold at over 6.48. So these glitters are really just picking up a lot more attention as more people just keep buying them, are sort of realizing that the application rates completely line up with the hollows. So we're starting to see a lot of them go insane on the market to where they're 2 timesing, 3 timesing, 4 timesing in price. So let's see what continues to happen.